I'm Josh Gasser.
And I'm Jordan Taylor. Welcome to episode 10 of A Shot of Whiskey. Let's get to it. I am still proud to tell y'all that, well, first of all, welcome back to A Shot of Whiskey, as we mentioned before, but I'm still proud to tell you that we are still rocking with Underdog Fantasy as our partner. And on top of that, good news still, current promo for all the new users. Go ahead and get into Underdog Fantasy, and the easiest way for you to do that is by downloading their app and using our code ASOW24. And even if you've already registered but haven't deposited, you can still use the promo. So stop playing around. Get on Underdog Fantasy. It's a lot of money to make over there, especially on the Badgers if you're fading the Badgers right now, because they have lost 6 out of the last 8, struggling, unfortunately. But Josh, man, it's been a tough little road. First of all, I like the dedication, man. You in the office doing the podcast. That's love, man. You don't get fired. Don't get fired doing the podcast, bro.
It's like 5 p.m. It's like 5 p.m. So I'm really missing happy hour right now. I'm supposed to be at a happy hour, so I'm not really in the office hours time. But so don't throw me on blast like that. Come
on. happy hour without the kids, and you spending the time with us. I feel honored, man, because I know you're about to have like 8 Keystone Lights or Miller Lights, whatever it is you drink these days.
A little more classy these days. Come on.
What you drinking these days, man?
Old fashions.
Old fashions?
You don't drink old fashions?
No, I don't drink old fashions, man.
Old fashions, Moscow Mules, IPA action, a little red wine. I don't know. Just I'm on like the 3 or 4 drink train, and then I'm like, all right, I'm ready for bed.
When did you become 47?
47. We just got off the. I went from you being shocked that I was 32 last time. All of a sudden I'm 47. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man.
God damn. So if I drink Keystone Light, I'm wrong. If I drink bourbon and old fashions, I'm wrong. What can I drink? What am I supposed to drink?
I didn't say anything about Keystone. You can drink Keystone Light. I didn't say that was wrong. I didn't say it was wrong.
I'm not 14.
The word wrong never came out. I just said, when did you 14? You was drinking Keystone at 14?
No. Not 14. That's it.
That's what y'all was doing in Port Washington, huh? All right.
Well, not much else to do, Jordan.
Good to know. No more recruits out of Port Washington, man. No more recruits. Degenerates. God damn.
Oh, shit. Let's move on. Come on.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, we're here to talk basketball, man. Like we said, Badgers lost 6 out of 8. Some pros and cons, though, man. Chucky, we've seen an uptick in scoring from Chucky Hepburn. He's averaging, was it a smooth, if my math is correct, 44 divided by 3. You can't do math either. That's crazy.
There's a lag in the audio.
14.6 points a game over his last 3 to go along with about 6 rebounds a game and 3.5 or 3-point-something assists. So positive to see. They're 1-2 in those games, including the overtime loss to Iowa. But what do we make of the recent aggressiveness from Chucky, and how does that affect this team going into March?
It's kind of what we were asking for on the last pod, right? Like, Chucky's been playing extremely well. He's been doing a lot of great things for this team in terms of, leadership, controlling the game in different ways, but hasn't been super aggressive and maybe playing as naturally as he thinks he is. So it's been awesome to see him be more aggressive and contribute that way. Unfortunately, we still didn't come out with wins necessarily, but I think it bodes well for the future in terms of just another scoring option when we need it. He dominated that Indiana game. He was he really controlled the game. Defensively, he was scoring. I think he had 6+ assists or whatever, rebounds. He played a tremendous game overall. It was just a shame to see us not come out with a win with him playing as well as he did. It comes back to some other factors that we've been talking about missing. It's like we keep talking about offense and guys doing well, but at the end of the day, something's lacking. Is it leadership? Is it toughness? Is it fight? Is it just like being dogs? Like, not someone sitting down and just not taking shit? Like, I don't know what it is. It's some sort of mentality that's just been missing a little bit holistically. We haven't won on the road in forever. We're losing close games. Something's missing there, and I don't know what it is. I'm sure you got your thoughts.
Yeah, I got my thoughts. I mean, one, I think that we might have to hand in our analysis credentials just because I think we called for Chucky to score more, and that would turn things around. So, dead wrong on that one, as as well as but the balance is there amongst the starting group. It's nice to see John Blackwell coming back, trying to find or starting to find his rhythm again. Um, I don't. They're just not really finishing games. They're just not finishing games how they should. Um, I'm kind of at a loss. I'm not gonna lie. I think me. I normally have something to say about
Oh yeah.
everything, and or at least things that I know anything even a little bit about. But I can't put my finger on it with this team because I don't think I can remember a team. We talked to Brandon Harrison. He mentioned they won 15 out of 18, and then to lose 6 out of 8. But like, I mean, the Rutgers game was terrible, but every other game has been a close game, and they're just not quite finishing games. So I don't know. It's got to be. I would just think it's got to be a mental thing. It's something like a mental block that guys are just, it's almost maybe a nervousness down the stretch where guys are pressing, forcing, not quite being entirely in rhythm. Maybe overthinking. That's really the only thing I could think of in a situation like this.
Yeah. I just think it's a lot of the little things that they're not doing great because these games you talk about how close they are, but they're in the 70s, they're in the 80s, like especially these road games. So it's like we can't expect to win these games comfortably if we're letting up 76 points or something like that. It's going to be close. It's going to come down to a call, a possession or two, and usually the home team finds ways to win at the end of games. So to me, it's like throughout the 40-minute game, there's just a couple little things that we're not doing. I mean, we got down Indiana game, we got down by 15, 18 points to start off the game. So like,
Mm-hmm.
it's stuff like that. And to me, it comes down to the fight, the little things, just who's gonna sit the fuck down and like, that mentality that's just I don't know. It seems to be, guys it's almost like, football teams are on the spread offense and they're getting more points, but somehow like their defenses get worse. It feels like that for us. Like we're offensively, I feel like we look awesome. We're doing things, but it's like our defense just isn't. We're not committed on that end of the floor or something. Like I just don't think we should be giving up 76 points to Michigan and some of these teams that we're giving up. We gotta lay our hat on something on that end of the floor.
Yeah, and you're probably right. Honestly, people might think I'm crazy. I've been watching the Lakers a lot lately, and in a way, this Wisconsin team is reminding me of the Lakers because the Lakers will have a quarter, like they had a quarter against the Suns where they allowed like I think it was maybe like 22 points to the Suns, but then they had a quarter where they allowed 70 or sorry, excuse me, 45. So I was
Right.
like, and it's just like it's never quite. It leaves you in the middle of the pack defensively, but it's just a lack of consistency. So yeah, to your point, it probably is the little things, and one of the biggest little thing is probably just being consistent, consistently doing the right thing, consistently being in position, consistently boxing out. Even if you don't get the ball, you know how that stuff goes. Like when you hit a dude, 2 minutes into the game in a box out, and you hit them 4 minutes into the game, even if they get it 2 minutes into the game, by the time it comes 10 minutes in the second half, they're going to be tired. You just got to start
Exactly.
wearing
Yep.
teams out. And this team should be. We've talked about their depth a lot. That's another thing. It seems like they've kind of lost some of that depth a little
I,
bit.
I was
Um,
gonna make that same comment.
yeah,
Yeah.
which like I said, it was nice to see John Blackwell had 11 points off the bench, but other than that, it was really, really light
We went
years
six
in
deep.
that
We went
unit.
six
Six
deep.
deep, 6 deep.
And that's
Connor.
and this time of the year, I mean, that's somewhat normal, but I think that was a positive for us. And I think it goes back to the little things and the consistency of who's trusted out there to to do the right thing. And just feels like teams are too comfortable against us. They don't feel enough resistance. They don't feel enough physicality. They don't teams. We're in a rhythm offensively, like we're in a good rhythm too, but so are the other teams. Everybody's in a good positive rhythm and seems to be playing well against us.
Yeah.
Um, which someone's got to take them out of that because
Yeah.
nothing worse than playing against a team who's in rhythm and feeling good because players are too good. I mean, you guard some of the best players, so did I. It's like I was just holding on for dear life as long as I could to not get them going. Try to not get them going for the first 12, 18 minutes of the game because once they get going, there's nothing you can do. And it feels like the best player, or, teams will just get going too early on us and it lasts too long.
Yeah, and to your point, we got 8 minutes from Nolan Winter, 5 from Marcus Ilver, 5 from Carter Gilmore, 6 from Connor Season, and 23 from John Blackwell off the bench. Playing against teams, Indiana had guys 16, 17, 15 off the bench. So, who really guys that aren't contributing a ton, but again, it's just the bodies and what you're throwing out there. So, I know a lot of times you look at players to produce, but then you're also like, do you think Coach Gard and Joe and those guys have almost like they're feeling kind of the same, like, damn, we can't put him in this situation because he's just not showing us. He's not showing us that, we can trust him right now. I mean, you remember how that was. And I feel like, as teammates, you feel that sometimes, like you can feel when your teammate is not like, I don't want to say all there, but just not confident. And then it's like you don't even hesitate to come out. Like, it's not that you're not going to pass him the ball, but you're almost pressing for your teammate mentally because you're like, please make that shot for his own sake, like, because I want to see him do well.
Especially on the road, especially in close games, which is what our struggles have been. At home, we're fine. At home, like, guys are comfortable, it feels like. But where's that, like, that toughness, fearlessness on the road? I don't know.
Yeah, and that's a fine line again, because that's where you want AJ to come out and be that guy, but then, like, you also want him to share the ball. So it's like it's just they're in this place where obviously we've seen them do we've seen what they're capable of, but now it's kind of like, damn, everybody is kind of out of whack, out of sync, and I don't know, with 3 games left going into March, not a lot of practice time. How do you think you get that? How do you find that in the next? When's the Big Ten tournament? March 11th or something like that?
Yeah, a couple weeks. I mean, good start is this weekend. I don't know when this is going to air, but we played, Illinois, top 15 team coming into the Kohl Center, playing them at home. That's a good start here. We got 2 home games, Illinois and Rutgers, before we go at Purdue, which obviously nothing to lose there, if grand scheme of things. So take care of home court, go at Purdue, see what you got, and then it's tournament time. But it's interesting. I feel like another issue is Tyler Wall's been getting in foul trouble a little bit, it seems like, and it feels like we haven't been able to figure out that 4 spot, or that, what we do when the bench there. I kind of like the small ball lineup we threw out there against Indiana for a little bit. We went on a run where we played 4 guards, with Chucky, Max, Blackwell, and AJ out there on the same court together with one big. I kind of like that lineup a little bit because, I mean, AJ is big enough to do things, but again, we got to be tough enough defensively to get rebounds on that end. And so I think that's a lineup we might see a little bit more, just because if Tyler's going to get in foul trouble, or Steve, it feels like, to your point, the bench guys can give us a couple minutes, but at this time of the year, feels like we have our 6 guys that we trust. So I think we might see a little bit more of the 4 guard, 4 wing lineup.
But I guess going into the tournament, like, you've been in situations, obviously you made deep tournament runs. Is 6 guys not enough?
6.5. You need 6.5.
Is 6
why
enough
not
to make a deep tournament run?
7. I mean, 6 core guys, 6, 7 core guys, absolutely. Why not?
I think so. In your in Final Four runs, how many guys deep did you guys go?
2015. I mean, we went our 5, and then we brought Douye off the bench. That was really it. Like, because Trayvon wasn't.
Trayvon still was there.
Yeah, but he was out for 10 weeks or 8 weeks.
In the tournament, though, he played. In
the tournament, he came back in the round of in the Sweet 16. So we went 6 deep, and then Zach Showalter came in and gave us 2 to 4 minutes. Vito Brown came in and gave us 2 to 4 minutes, but it was a core 6, and then a couple guys coming in at the 12:48 minute mark to come in to spell under the media timeout for like me and Frank, or someone and Frank, to give an extra minute or 2 of rest. So we had a good rhythm of like, okay, we got our 6, and then these guys are going to come in and really give us some good energy for a couple minutes each half. I think that's what you need. You need 6, 7.5 guys, and as long as guys aren't getting in foul trouble, which we've gotten in foul trouble a little bit, Max, Tyler, and that's where it hurts.
I think those 2 to 4 minutes that they gave, though, were
good minutes.
Good minutes. Yeah, 2 to 4 minutes for real. Like, a big shot or a big minute. He always made big defensive plays. Douye, I remember watching Douye from the stands in the 14 when he took one of those pull up transition threes, and I was like, what the hell was that? Like, we're allowed to shoot those now? Like, so I'll never forget that. But anyway, yeah, I think so 6 core guys, but you still need the 7, 8, 9 to contribute. in a very meaningful way, even if it's in a short time. And I think again, just haven't had that, and I don't know how you get that back. So, but that being said, Coach Gard has won Coach of the Year. What, 2 times now?
Yeah,
2 times for a reason. So
deservedly
I
so.
still, yeah, so rightfully so, and I still look to those guys. I still look to them to get them together to right the ship, because I still think come March we're a dangerous team, especially if you do find that depth.
Yeah, it's weird because I think we both like this team a lot. Like I like the way we play. I like our flow. I like the way we can score the ball. It's just
Me more than you.
why aren't we defending at a little higher level? Why aren't we a little tougher? And I think the guys got to do that because the system. I mean, we played in it. You could be a good defensive team the way we need to be, and right now it's just not happening. It's been a big sample size now. It's kind of last year was the same. It feels like we're like last year a little bit. We're close games, and can't quite get it done. But it was more we couldn't score, but we could defend. And this year we could score, and we're not defending. So we have it in us. It's just it hasn't come out yet, and time's ticking.
Yeah, frustrating stuff. But speaking of frustrating stuff, man, we got college basketball notes we gotta take care of that we want to talk about. Listening to John Shire berate the court storming incident was beyond frustrating. We played against John Shire at the Cole Center. I believe did they rush the court when we beat them?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
there. You were there. Yeah, rush court.
Oh yeah, you weren't there. I was a sophomore. You weren't there yet. So yeah, they did rush the court. That had to be one of the worst interviews takes I've ever seen personally in my life. That was disgusting. Couldn't believe it. I thought it was dumb. Like I can get with if maybe you need to give a little grace period, because I think I saw they were on the court with like 0.7 seconds left. So you got to let the zeros run out and maybe have better security. But banning court storming might be the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Totally agree. Totally agree. I don't think he actually believed what he said.
There's no way. There's no possible way you can believe. There's no possible way you could believe what you say.
That's part of the fun of college basketball. I
That's
mean,
all of the fun in college
yes.
basketball.
I mean, I remember. So you were part of that court storming on the positive end, right? And then Ohio State, your junior
Yeah.
year. I mean, those are some of the best, most fun games and moments. And then think of all the students and the fans in the building. They remember that shit. Like it was the best day of their college experience.
What?
Now, there should be repercussions if you're going to run in the court and cold clock a player in the head or something. Then yeah, you should there's consequences to your actions. But holistically, court storming is a good thing for college basketball and players and fans.
Who's done that? Is somebody cold?
Nobody. No, I'm just saying. Like if it's gotten to that level, it's never gotten to that level. They're talking about the player safety is the reason why they're trying to ban court storms. So
I think that players. I think some of these players are being a little dramatic. I think that Caitlin Clark. I don't know what she was looking at when she just ran into somebody. I think the craziest part of that court storming was the security guard that two-hand shoved the Ohio State. Or who was it? I forgot who they were playing, but I think it was Ohio State. Two-hand shoved the player out of the way that was trying to help Caitlin Clark. And then Filipowski, I think he played the other night, but yeah, it reminds me, actually, I remember, what was it? Yeah, when we played Ohio State your freshman year, and Jared Sullinger, shout out the Buckeye Podcast, Jared Sullinger, good dude, that's great people. But I remember he said he got spit on during the court storming process.
that's right.
When we beat them when they were number one, and Coach Ryan swore he checked every camera in the Kohl Center to make sure he didn't get spit on. I also don't believe that, but who knows, man? But
yeah, I mean, yeah, that behavior is just stupid. Whether it's a court storm or you're in public, that's just stupid behavior. It doesn't mean you ban court storms per se. But I will say, have you been a part of a court? How many court storms were we a part of on the bad end?
Green Bay when you were there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We lost to Green Bay in the court storm. I didn't even
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
Yeah,
my junior year we got court stormed at Indiana when we were 16-0, and then my senior year I think twice we got court stormed. One of my buddies texted me like, "Have you been a part of one?" And actually, that Indiana one, my junior year, I was laying on my ass when they started because I went up for a rebound at the buzzer and got undercut. So I was on the ground right before everyone came running out. So that situation, it could have been a little dangerous, but even then, like you just get up and move. You're off the court. Like it ain't that hard. Like, I don't know, just get out of the way.
Like Simba. And the Stampede. What was Indiana ranked when they court stormed you guys?
They weren't ranked. I
Oh,
think
they
we were
weren't
ranked
ranked.
like second. We were ranked like second or third, but they weren't ranked.
Oh, okay, so when we court stormed Ohio State, we were ranked like 13th, and they were 1. So I guess a valid question is: do we court storm too much? Like, is that? I think again, 15. Creighton was ranked 15, and they beat UConn the other week at home.
They court stormed
and,
that.
and they court stormed that. So is that excessive? Is that OD?
I think it depends on the game. I think the Ohio State game we had was well worth it because it was down to the wire. Like they were 24-0 or something. So there's a difference between number one ranked team being 14-3, or they were undefeated and it was a close game, a heroic performance by you obviously, and just a cool, fun game. Didn't Creighton? They were up by like 20. So that feels like
Yeah,
a court
Creighton
storm's
beat the dog.
unnecessary.
Yeah, Creighton
That's
beat
just like
Creighton.
that seems unnecessary. But I don't know. I'm not gonna hate on it. It's fun.
Creighton beat the dog shit out of them. I had the UConn -2. I wasn't happy. But
See, okay, 2-point favorites. That's probably doesn't deserve a court storm.
listen, I think. But did you see the atmosphere? I don't think it's too much. I would court storm if it was 3-1. And 3 wins. Why not? Like that's
hey, trust me, man. Like
except again, depends on the situation. If it's North Carolina Duke 3-1, all right, now you look like goofballs. But let's say it's like 3, like a team that's, I don't know, who's a 3, like a Florida Atlantic having a crazy season and they're up at 3 and they beat Duke at the crib when they're number 1. Yeah, I'm court storming that. You're never gonna get no. That's a once in a lifetime type situation. So I don't think I don't think we court storm too much. I do think that. No, I'll just leave it at that. I don't think we court storm.
No, yeah, we had a positive court storm too. I remember now against Michigan in 2013 when Ben made that awesome shot. Like that was another court storm we had, and I think that was warranted because of the game. I don't know, it was a great game.
What was Michigan ranked in that game?
I think they were top 5.
What was y'all ranked?
We weren't ranked.
Oh, man, actually, I take it back. Wisconsin court storms too much. We act like we didn't win no damn game. We gotta stop.
We hit a half-court shot to send it to overtime. We were unranked. That team we were not very good that year. Let's make that clear. And Michigan, didn't they make the national championship that year? They were good.
They did. But we gotta stop. Wisconsin, we do court storm too much. We gotta start acting like.
You don't think we should have court stormed when you had 29 and against Ohio State when they were ranked number 1?
No, that was me. We should have done it.
Yeah, exactly. That was funny shit though. It was a Saturday. We had off on Sunday. We had all afternoon and night. That was the best shit.
Nah, yeah.
The court storm helped with that. It made it a great experience for everyone.
It did. But certain programs do need to court storm less. Like Creighton at this point. Creighton, I mean, is during the Big. They're viewed as a premier right now. They're viewed as a premier program in college basketball. No.
Yeah, I think so. They're legit. They're legit. I heard Matt Painter say that he hasn't lost a game in like 2 or 3 years where there hasn't been a court storm. So I think that's when like I think my senior year, I think every game we lost on the road we got court stormed, and it's kind of cool getting court stormed against from that standpoint. Kind of makes you feel good.
intense rivals don't need to court storm. I'll just put it that way.
I mean,
like intense rivals, unless it's something crazy, like you're down 20, you come back, like it's an emotional game. But intense rivals, if you win the game handily, like, or you don't need, or even it's a wired, like,
Oh, Wisconsin, with another court storm recently at Wisconsin, they beat Purdue to clinch the Big Ten championship. When Chucky Hepburn hit that shot a couple years ago. That's warranted. It was to win the Big Ten championship at the buzzer, essentially. So it wasn't like a court storm. It was more like a celebration on the court. So there's a little bit of a difference. You know what I'm saying?
I guess. But again, I remember when was have we always court stormed and won a Big Ten? They did when Devin did it, but that was because it was like the first time with Bo. It was first time in a while that they won. But now if it's a normal thing, like, why are you court storming? Like, stay your ass in the stand.
Yeah, 2015 there was no court storm, but we also fucking.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so. Nah, yeah. So actually, yeah, I changed my.
Make up your damn mind, Jordan.
I did. Generally speaking, college basketball does not court storm too much. It does not. Wisconsin court storms too much. There you go.
If you were on the court, you want them to court storm. So.
It depends. I think it depends. But listen, man, that's
How are you
all
playing, by the way? What's going on in your basketball career?
we're
Fill the
not
people
doing
in.
that. We're not doing that.
Come on.
No, I don't want to.
That means you're playing like shit. That means
on
you're
the next on the next episode. No, it doesn't. I'm playing my role, man. I'm the captain of the team this year. I'm the old head. I'm the vet. I'm playing
That's
my
right.
role. Playing my role, man. Let the young guns do what they got to do. So, but listen, man, that's all we got for you. All we got for you on this episode of A Shot of Whiskey. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all tune in next episode. We'll have a good guest for y'all. Talk a little bracketology, talk a little tournament coming up, and keep supporting, man. We'll see y'all soon.